And welcome in to DNVR Bets Daily, the only show that just gives out Denver winners all day, every day. I mean, we calculated it yesterday. I believe going into yesterday, the two of us were combined 22-9.
Yep.
Picking Denver sports lines.
Yep.
And then we go I go 2-1 yesterday. I mean, I couldn't even keep track of all the props you guys had out there, and it was just like, in like video, not like video games, like in cartoons, the sound of like cha-ching, cha-ching,
Yes.
cha-ching, cha-ching. That was your life yesterday.
Pretty much, yeah. 3-0 on my locks, and like another 4 Nuggets parlays that we mentioned hit. A bunch of Av stuff hit. Rockies, Patrick's one lock of a Story home run barely missed, but still my lock hit. So yeah, I've been up 10 units in the last 2 days alone with my picks. Yeah.
I mean, you guys were so hot on player props yesterday that you had Cale Makar to score. And Cale Makar scores 3 minutes into the game.
It was crazy. Based off like romantic reasons for having AJ on the show, I mean, and then he approved it and there were hockey reasons for it, but still it was like, yeah, I mean, we're just handing out free tickets here.
Speaking of free tickets, we've got a new nickname because yesterday is the first day that we had Michael Porter Jr. props ever since the history of the show. Any of the Nuggets games, any of the scrimmages, nothing. We never had Michael Porter lines. We finally get Michael Porter lines yesterday. It's over 14.5 points, over 2.5 threes, and over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So MPJ now stands for Money Printer Jr. because this man went out there and obliterated these lines. Yeah. He had 14 in the first half, so he needed a half point in the second half to cover that. Yep. He had 3 threes in the first quarter.
Yeah, 6 minutes into the first quarter, that was done.
3 for 3. He started 3 for 3 on 3 threes. Yeah. That was cashed. And then this is my favorite part. He cashes the over on 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists by 20 with 0 assists.
Yeah.
He goes with 45, 30 points, 15 rebounds, 0 assists. Covers it by 15 or by 20.5 actually. When all was said and done. Incredible, and we're theorizing that the folks at DraftKings don't know what to do with Michael Porter Jr. because as it stands right now, we don't have player props in the Nuggets game. So we'll wait and see if they come up by the end of the show because obviously the first game of the day today in Denver is a Rockies game, so we'll go back to that. Rockies lose last night. If you had the 3-way Colorado parlay, you go home wishing for more. But I'll tell you this, Dre, when the Rockies went down 4-2, I looked down at my buyout because my buyout never got to 2-1. It was like a little under it, and I was just waiting for it to happen. It never happened. But I looked down at my buyout, and it was like 9. It was like half of what I originally went in. But then Nolan hits that home run to make it 4-3, and it went back over what my original bet was, and I was like, you know what? Let me just get out of here. So I ended up profiting 83 cents. On my Denver sports 3-way parlay. It's better than nothing.
Yeah. And, I mean, basically you got the insurance. You got your wager back. So that's nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Rockies.
They can't win them all, though, guys. They've lost a few that they really should have won. Now you've got Kyle Freeland back on the mound against old friend Tyler Anderson.
Old friend Tyler Anderson. And, Andre, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Because you always want to bet against these guys, because you're like, man, I want to watch my team beat up on him like other teams used to.
Right.
But that never happens with the Rockies. Yeah. Like, we've literally seen Jordan Lyles almost no-hit the Rockies. That's a real thing that happened in real life. The Rockies had Jordan Lyles. He couldn't get an out. He goes up against the Rockies, and I swear to God, he nearly threw a no-hitter. So
that's what happens.
These are the type of things that happen to the Rockies, and one of the reasons why I am very worried about this one from a Rockies perspective. But there is a perspective that I'm not worried about, and that is the under.
Ding, ding, ding.
Look, I don't want to be boring and redundant on this show, but as long as they keep setting over-unders at around 12 while the Rockies have a good pitching staff, I'm going to keep hitting them. And I believe right now I'm 4-1 betting unders at Coors Field.
That's right.
With the one being Wade Davis, and it should be 5-0.
Sure.
And they haven't really adjusted the numbers that much. Now, I think they're baking in that the Rockies offense might just bust out today.
Yeah.
And it's possible. I mean, they could touch up Tyler Anderson for 8 runs in 3 innings and do that thing. But I don't love that, and I do love Kyle Freeland. So I'm going to take the under in this 11.5. It's -120, giving up a little bit of juice there, but that's my favorite pick here in this game, and that's what I feel good about.
Yeah, the juice is telling that maybe there's been an adjustment while the line's still really high. Yeah, the unders are hitting more, so we're getting a little more juice on the over. I'm with you, though, and I really like these starters. Tyler Anderson, his problem was giving up bombs, especially at Coors Field. You know, you can't give up like 20, 25 bombs a season when you're starting 20 games. But as far as staying consistent and, eating up innings, he can do that. So I like the under 6.5 in the first 5 innings. I have yet to lose that. I've come close. We've had some sweat outs, but I have yet to lose that because, Rockies starting pitching has been very reliable and made this kind of a safe bet.
Not every bet can be an MPJ over that happens and you never have to stress it out.
That's right.
Or a Cale Makar scores in the first 3 minutes. I mean, unbelievable. Yeah, I like those two. And then here's one, I always like to look for a value pick that feels good. You liked Trevor Story to home run today.
Yes.
Tyler Anderson does love to hang a breaking ball.
Yep.
And Trevor Story likes to hit those very far away.
Yep. Ready power against that lefty arm. And as Patrick was saying yesterday, there's such a inner competition with Story and Nolan. Nolan's now homered 3 in a row. Story's been really patient with his approach. I know.
I've been saying that was going to happen for months.
I know.
Because I said, listen, you're going to take the over 14.5 on Nolan. He's going to hit him in bunches. And eventually those bunches are going to bunch together and you're going to hit 15 home runs. I could not have been more right. And then after he went, what was it, the first 7 games?
Yeah.
First 7 games without a home run. I said, that's okay. He'll hit 3 in 3 nights and we'll be right back on track. Here we are.
Sure has. But, Story's been so patient. Patrick's theory is the more he sees Nolan doing this, the more he's going to get a little more aggressive and take 1 yard. And I think Tyler Anderson's the perfect guy for that job.
At least for my money, his bat has as much pop. When he hits the ball, it doesn't matter which way it's going. That thing just rockets off of there. Yeah, he can just flick his hands and hit home runs to right field. And so he's going to start piling. I mean, just watching him this year, I think his bat speed is faster. I think he's a little bit stronger.
Yes.
And I wish I took the over on his home runs because I'm watching the way the ball's coming off his bat, and he's hitting the ball scary hard.
He's been dynamite,
yeah. Here's my value pick of the day. Pitcher to record a win. This is one that I hadn't explored yet, and if you talk to any baseball people, they'll tell you that pitcher wins are garbage, which I kind of agree.
Absolutely.
But essentially, this is a similar bet to, I'm talking myself through this. This is a similar bet to just who's going to be winning after 5, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess with this one, you get a little bit more value, and you count on the bullpen to hold it in place.
That's the trickier part, is counting on the bullpen to hit it, to keep it in place. But plus 185, and the Giants have a pretty shaky bullpen themselves, actually much shakier. And Patrick was pointing out, take away Pezos and Wade Davis, even the Rockies bullpen has been lights out, basically. I think I remember them allowing 1 run aside from those 2 guys. So,
yeah, Pazos, I believe is his name. Yeah, you're right. It's like a sub-2 ERA minus Wade and Pazos.
Right, and Wade's out, and Pazos is only there in blowouts as your token bullpen lefty arm. Philip Deal's the guy they'll go to when they really need a lefty.
Yes, the sacrificial lamb, if you will.
Sure.
Go out there and eat up some innings. So, yeah, I kind of like that. Plus 185.
It's good value.
It's good value.
Yeah, against Anderson.
Anything else on this? How do you just feel about the Rockies straight up?
I think they're due for a win. We're still getting them under minus 200, so it's decent, if not tremendous value. I mean, they're just so much better than the Giants. It's clear,
Absolutely. All right. Unfortunately, We tried to wait it out as long as we could. Still no player props on the Nuggets. MPJ has the world befuddled.
Yeah, and I mean, like TJ Warren, who's been bubble MVP basically, he's went off for over 80 points in his first 2 games. He's still set at 24.5. They just can't set it high enough for some of these guys that obviously only have a 2-game sample. I don't expect MPJ to be anywhere higher than like 20.5 max.
Yeah.
And I think I'm taking the over.
I mean,
Carmelo Anthony will be guarding him, Ryan. I think that's what's happening.
So Melo, though, is capable on the defensive end. For him, it's all about want to. Okay. And he might want to, slow down this guy who might be chasing after his rookie records.
I mean, he might want to. There'll be a lot of, loud silences because Melo, who's the king of yelling, "This is my effing rebound," is going to be doing that a whole bunch with MPJ, the rebound king, all over him.
MPJ has such a natural feel for rebounding.
Insane.
He's so athletic, and the word I use, he just glides, and he just sees it, glides to it. He has massive hands. None of his rebounds look like they take any effort.
No, and his second bounce is just amazing.
My favorite, attribute in a basketball player, second bounce.
Yeah, you love the pogo stick guys. This is one where, similar to talking to our guy Brendan Vogt, who really shepherded the approval of all these great props that hit with the Nuggets yesterday, similar to the Spurs Nuggets matchup where neither team can really defend the other team's strengths. It's a similar matchup where the Nuggets are really going to struggle to contain that backcourt. Just because, look, when 1 through 3 of your starters are out, that's just going to be hard to do against guys like Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum. So I expect this to be very high scoring. 232 is where this line's set. So really high, but still I like the over in this. I think it's just going to be a shootout, especially if the Nuggets keep it close. If this is one where it's look, it's the second of a back-to-back, the Nuggets just don't have it. By the fourth quarter, they're down by 15, and we're mostly playing the bench, then the over is not so safe. But I think if you think this is competitive with the MPJ matchup, I think it could be. I like the over.
So the one that is pretty eye-popping here is total points by Portland. Over under 118.5.
Wow, that's high.
Yeah, that's really high. But if you're worried about that, this might be something you're interested in, or maybe you're looking at Dame Lillard or CJ McCollum props here, because I think you're right. Yeah. The biggest problem here is not only do you not have the guys to really lock them down, you don't have guys to wear them out on the other side of the court. Whereas, Jamal Murray, not a fantastic defender, right? But he'll make you work all day on the other side of the court, which is going to take a little bit of energy out of you. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I just don't think that PJ Dozier is going to wear out Dame Lillard.
No.
So that's a little bit concerning, but over 118.5 is still too high for me. The Nuggets over-under is set at 114.5. So you said the total was 128, right?
232.
Oh. I meant 228, but yeah, it's still pretty
far
off.
That's what it was yesterday, so they've already kicked it up. It's gone from 117.5 to 227.5 to 232. So there's some Coursey vibes here,
Here's what I love the most is Nuggets plus 4.5. Now, I like the plus 4.5 on its own. What I really like here, though, is picking another game and teasing your way into this, because you could get that up to 9.5, which I feel pretty darn good about. And along the same lines, you could get
May I suggest the Heat at less?
That's what my thumb is hovering over right now.
Excellent.
You could get the Heat at plus 14, paired with the Nuggets plus 9.5.
That's nice.
That's kind of a nice little teaser. Nice. Now, you do have to worry about the Nuggets just back-to-back. Can't guard Lillard and McCollum. If McCollum and Lillard hit 3 threes in the first 6 minutes or 4 minutes, you might be in trouble.
And the Blazers are just so much better with Nurkic in there. Their depth becomes so much better. So they're a more dangerous team than your 2019-20 pre-bubble, pre-lockdown Blazers were. So this is a formidable opponent, but plus 150, there's decent value on the money line there too with the Nugs. I mean,
and again,
throw that out there.
you love that plus 150, and I don't even like to say this word around you, but plus 150 in a parlay is going to boost some things very high. Let's just see. You want to go Rockies-Nuggets parlay. Let's see what kind of value that would give you. Let me just dial it up here. Rockies-Nuggets parlay comes out to plus 293, which is actually almost exactly what I had last night for Rockies, Avs, and Nuggets all together because they were all favorites. But you get plus 150 involved in there, and that skyrockets quickly. So a lot of options out there. In terms of this Nuggets game, I'm going to go on the record for
the over will be my lock.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lock, and that's okay. I'm allowed to do that.
You are. If not, it wouldn't be a sincere lock.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. You don't want to. I was trying to come up with something, but it was inappropriate.
Oh boy.
So I'm actually probably gonna. I'll take that teaser though. I'll put my name on that teaser.
Okay.
Nuggets plus 4.5. Heat plus 9.
Yeah.
Tease that up to. I just want to get the value for the people. Tease those up to 9.5 and plus 14. You're still getting plus 109 there. You want to give up a little value? Go to just 4 points.
Semi-lock.
You can get plus 129.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I'll take the 5. You know my rules.
Yeah.
Take as many points as they'll give you.
That's right. We also have Wolves playing today against Olympiacos. Big favorites to go ahead, so you could parlay that. Sure. Yeah. There you go. You eat a lot of Greek food, so you would know better than me.
Do you love some Greek? Yaya's right down the street. Check it out.
There you go. And TJ Warren over 24.5 against the Suns. That's hitting, kids. So please bet that responsibly, which means place lots of money on that.
Last question I have for you, Dre, is how's your heart rate? You had a little bit of a scare this morning.
Yeah, I sweated it out. I was the first one in the bar, then expect an alarm to go off, and next thing I know, sirens are all over me, and I'm trying to lock it down. My heart rate is okay, though.
This is partly my fault because I told Andre, hey, I'm running late, but you can grab my key for me and just head into the bar and meet me there. And I've never been the first one in the bar, so I knew about the alarm system, but it just hadn't crossed my mind when I decided to let you in. So I get a call from Andre. This is the best part. I get a call from Andre, and as soon as I press accept, all I hear is woo, woo. He's like, hey, an alarm went off. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Gotta get my point across.
So then we had there was like a wild scramble, but thankfully the cops never came, huh?
Cops haven't come. That was yeah, I guess that's.
Well, I mean, we got it. We got the alarm
we got it
turned
under
off
control
in like 30 seconds. So
so
that's why
we got it taken care of. Yeah, but the joys of the bar and doing the show live here are some of that as well.
Yes, exactly. All right, so yeah, those are the picks. Anything else that you want to throw down from a national perspective?
I'll tell you what. I think there's a little Astros backlash because they haven't started super hot. They've split the first 2 games with the Diamondbacks. You can get that at minus 108 against the Diamondbacks, who are, I think, the worst team in the NL West right now. That seems like really good value for a team that can still rake and has a ton of bats. So I'll just throw that out there on top of TJ Warren and the Wolves. That already makes for a nice little parlay.
It's just Wolves.
Right.
Get it right. Last thing I'll say here. I don't know if you mentioned these yesterday, or we talked about it, but I'm in on JT at the PGA, and then also Tiger to make the cut. They came back with that prop, plus 100 on Tiger to make the cut, so I'm all in on that. So we'll be following that throughout the weekend, I guess the next day. Yeah. My whole world is moving yesterday. I don't know what day it is.
Yeah, and oddly, with American sports, my days have become more combobulated. I thought that would put me on more of a regular schedule. It's done the opposite.
I agree. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us today on DNVR Bets Daily. Make sure you check out DraftKings Sportsbook. When you sign up, you can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 when you use the code DNVR. So go over to DraftKings Sportsbook, use that code DNVR, get signed up, get in on all these great odds boosts, all these props, all the amazing things they do over there. Hopefully some MPJ lines later in the day.
Yes.
We assume that'll be coming. So head over to DraftKings Sportsbook, use that code DNVR. Of course, you must be 21 or older, Colorado only. The bonus is comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. Deposit bonus requires a 25x playthrough, and restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us today on DNVR Bets Daily. Have a great day.